Hi, so today I'm reacting to a Royal Marine series on the front line. This is a bonus episode called Commando, on the front line, the 55-year-old Commando. This follows the 55-year-old filmmaker of the series, Chris Terrill, as he undertakes the 4 Commando tests. Let's get to it.
Break up, watch your footing!
He's 55 years of age.
Chris, I require more from you, let's go!
He has no military experience.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
And he's old enough to be their father.
The fit old bastard, I'll tell you that.
To be their grandfather,
He's desperate
actually.
to prove he's got what it takes to be a commando.
Fast, hard and aggressive drive through! 3, 2, 1,
The most grueling military training in the world.
One of the most grueling military training in the world.
4 incredibly tough commando tests.
Let's go, Terrill, you need to move now. Get up here!
I don't know what to say.
And all with one goal in mind. The Green Beret.
Starts off painful. Just goes downhill from there.
Elbows inside the knees, keep the back nice and upright. Nice and flat, edge up. Outwards.
7 a.m. on Lympstone Common, Devon. 15 men prepare for a daunting, energy-draining physical challenge that could change the rest of their
And then
lives.
slowly lower yourself all the way to the floor.
All but one are Royal Marine recruits in their teens and 20s. The exception, documentary maker Chris Terrill, aged 55.
Slight goodness forward, leg forward.
I'm in Lympstone, which is the Commando training base, in order to embed with the Royal Marines, to get really under the skin of the Royal Marines in the sense of just living with them, training with them, and understand what makes them tick.
For 32 weeks, these men have gone through hell to prove they've got what it takes to be a Royal Marine.
You're doing this today for yourselves, okay? First Commando test, get a tick in the box. That's what this is all about. Yes, sir!
Chris, making a documentary series for ITV, decided not only to record their trials and tribulations, but to experience them personally.
The training of a Royal Marine is such an intense experience that I decided I've got to do it. I've just got to get stuck in and hurt with the guys. So that's why I'm here, 32 weeks worth.
3, 2, 1, go!
The endurance course, a rapid 6-mile cross-country run in full kit.
It's a sort of cross-country run, but through hell. Feels like it goes on forever.
Good, Chris, come on. You're well, mate.
This is just the first of 4 grueling commando tests to be taken in 5 days that have to be passed to become a Marine.
I thought it was 4 tests in 4 days. So, in between which tests do you actually get the break? Is it 3 tests and then you get a break before the 30-miler?
No mucking about, let's go!
Chris will compete alongside the younger men in a bid for his honorary Green Beret.
It's certainly not a foregone conclusion that Chris will succeed in the tests over the next few days. Quite frankly, he could fall at any hurdle.
No civilian has ever passed all 4 commando tests.
Fast, hard and aggressive drive through! All the way, come on, do not let them go away from you, Chris. You're eating into their time. Catch them up, Chris. You're seeing them off if you don't.
With just 10 minutes gone, there's a big challenge. The
Sheep
sheep
dip.
dip is an icy bath of foul water with a narrow tunnel to squeeze through.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Down all the way through.
Definitely close your eyes
Good lad.
in that water.
To master this, you need big lungs and complete faith in your comrades.
Keep going, mate. Pull them up. Relax. Pull them up. Right, Chris, ready to go. William, get your hand up there. Sit right the vote, William. Good lad, mate. Happy with that? Come on now, lads. Individual effort, let's have it.
When Chris began filming with the Royal Marines 8 months ago, his troop was formed of 49 new recruits.
They arrived at Lympstone Station, just around the corner there, and they walk into this alien world, this commando base. for 32 weeks of unmitigated hell stretches before them.
Why didn't you have a shave today?
Did, Corporal.
You did?
Corporal.
Right, don't you worry, I'll be giving you a lecture on how to shave properly in that case.
Corporal.
On the first day we got here, we got off the training, we had Chris whacked there with a camera straight in our face, and we didn't have a clue who he was or why he was being filmed or anything like that.
Chris turned up day one with all the recruits, and he's done most of the training with the recruits, certainly all the physical training, and sort of that as well as his filming the troop as well.
Tomorrow, around 1200.
When Chris joined, obviously we were quite nervous to start off with, letting a civilian into sort of our world. But he integrated really quickly, and to start off with, we hardly noticed he was there.
For those of you who don't know, that visual representation that we saw on the ground is called a sand table. It's just a 3D representation of your mission and objective. That way everyone can be on the same page.
It's important that Chris is accepted as one of the men. He'll follow some of the troop when they finish training and are posted to the front line in Afghanistan.
It's a sobering thing to watch these young men being taught how to kill a potential enemy. But that's what being a soldier is all about. That's their trade.
Back on the endurance course, Chris is tired, soaking wet, and not even halfway through.
Chris, I require more from you. Let's go. Remember, Chris, it's a commando test. It's easy, everyone would do it.
Most
True.
filmmakers are content to observe from a distance, but even at 55, that's not Chris's style.
I like the adventure, and I like the crack. And I think it'd be terribly frustrating to stand on the sideline and watch these guys jumping into muddy pools and whatever else they do. I want to jump into muddy pools as well.
Good, strong. Straight in, you know how deep it is, get in there.
He's a method filmmaker, which I think definitely gave more credit to the series, which really made it great.
Straight through. Good effort, keep it going.
The flooded tunnels are up to 60 feet in length.
Good effort, lads, keep working hard.
That looks miserable.
Drive yourself through there. Good. Keep coming, keep coming.
Let's go, Chris. Do not walk. Do not walk.
Come on.
Get in there.
Get in there.
Straight
Come on,
in
Nick.
there.
Come on, keep
Let's go,
going, keep going.
Williams. Work hard up the hill. Good effort.
Right. Let's go. Right way. Come on.
Stand up and away,
Good
come on.
effort.
Stand up and away, come on. Keep going, come on. Start moving, start moving. Run, come on.
Don't walk. Right, he's 55 years old. You think that is acceptable? Let's go, Blake.
No, that's not acceptable.
It can be irritating, like, he's seen as he's fit, like, training team say, oh, Chris is 55 years old, he shouldn't be beating you and all that. But at the end of the day, he's fit as well, isn't he?
An endurance athlete with 11 marathons and 3 triathlons under his belt, Chris is not your average middle-aged man.
Considering his resume and seeing him perform now, I can completely understand how he was able to keep up with the Marines in Afghanistan as they were going up into higher altitudes in the mountains with full kit on, being shot at by the Taliban in freezing weather. He seemed to keep up no problem with those guys. So I can see him doing well on most of these tests.
Chris was in an awesome sort of state, I thought. We did a battle fitness test at the start of training, and he came sort of second or third out of a group of sort of 55 lads.
Is it determined fit old codger? He'll kill me for saying that.
Codger.
No, I'd happily give him a green beret.
How old are you, Orlando?
21 years old. So Chris is literally twice the man I am and some.
He was one of the most mature 21-year-olds I've ever seen. He was definitely a life lost way too young. What is a codger, by the way?
He could be my dad. He's a fit old bastard. I'll tell you that. How you feeling, Chris? Yeah. This way, mate, to speed up now.
The endurance course is living up to its name. With 4 miles to go, veteran filmmaker Chris Terrill is feeling the pain. But his 21-year-old boss is unsympathetic.
Endurance course, he walks in a bit of it. So he might have stitched himself up a bit there. Hopefully he can make up the time on the run back. He's making some fucking girly noises though.
Each of the Commando tests is against the clock. Chris knows he'll have to push himself to beat the time limit of 73 minutes.
I think he made it just fine.
Let's go, mate. Shout your name out. Shout your name out.
Chris, stand up. Stand up.
After a run like that, what you need to do is to keep on walking. And if you want to help yourself breathe better, then actually bring your arms up, which opens up your chest. The key thing is not to stand there or to lay down. That's not good.
Stand up. Stand up, Chris. Stand up, walk round. Walk around.
Walk round. Don't
Good
stop.
effort. Right, take yourself.
Round,
Stand up.
head up. Suck it in, keep moving, not stop. Keep walking round.
That's it. Keep walking around.
Walking round. Walk down to the flag. Walk down to the flag. Head up.
It's horrible. I don't know how to do this, I really don't. Probably supposed to be sick on camera.
After a run like that, if you feel like you have to throw up, then that means that you did put out and had a good effort. So kudos to him.
Starts off painful. Just goes downhill from there. I've no idea what my time was. I mean, if it's under 73, I made it.
As a non-combatant, Chris stays on the sidelines whilst the other men finish the endurance course with target practice. Instead of an assault rifle, he carries a camera tripod of the same weight.
I'm surprised he didn't get a rubber ducky or something.
That's what it's all about. First commando test. Anyone find that easy? Okay, times. Williams. Where are you? 65.25. Good effort. Aerosmith. 73.47. Fail. Where are you? Okay, 47 seconds over. Head up. Head up. Tyrrell. 64.52. Pass. Well done.
He beat Williams?
71.19. Pass.
Wow, he did smoke it.
Unlike two of the younger men, Chris has passed the first test, but it's clear he's taken a few knocks.
I think the bruises are part of the experience. It's like you play rugby. If you come off and you're not hurting a bit, you feel like you haven't really played rugby. And to a certain extent, you know, a bit blokey, but they're sort of badges of honour as well.
As well as coping with the battering, Chris has also chosen to live on the Marines' camp.
The only way to really try and understand a community is to participate fully within it. If I went to the comfortable hotel down the road, I'd be cheating the lads, I'd be cheating myself, and actually I'd be cheating the viewer. You know, I'm trying to understand the essence of what it is to be a Royal Marine Commando, and so I've got to get as close to that experience as I can.
He's experiencing it firsthand, and that sort of seems to be his style. He likes to get in there and sort of get dirty, climb around in the mud. Think back to the mud run, you know, he was diving around with his camera and crawling around in the mud, and there was no requirement for that from him, but he seemed to get into it and enjoy it.
No, I feel like this is what I do every day for Fizz training.
Just after sunrise, Troop 924 are preparing for the second Commando test. It's the 9-mile speed march with a strict time limit of 90 minutes.
With the 9-mile speed march, you are together with your troop. And in a way it's worse because you can't fall back. You've got to keep up with the fastest man. And if you can't, you've had it.
A 10-minute mile for these guys is actually very slow. Most of these guys can probably knock out a 5 or 6 minute mile under normal conditions. However, they're exhausted from the day before and they have to carry 30-35 pounds of kit wearing boots in formation. So yes, this is a very tough test, but given Chris's history, I think he's also going to pass no problem.
Remember, all the way round, remember why you're doing this. You're doing this for yourselves, family and friends. However, more importantly, you're doing this for yourselves. Final left, quick, march. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Left. Two. Left, right, left, right, left, left.
For Chris, at 55, this 5 or 6 days of tests is, will push him. I think we're going to see a lot of character. Hopefully, Chris digging deeper than he's ever had to dig before.
Just 30 minutes into the march, and running with heavy boots and 31 pounds of kit makes it a hard slog.
Ugh.
55-year-old bloke should be sort of starting to kick back and relax a little bit, but I can't see that with Chris.
Such a painful run. Ugh. I've had to run with body armor before, and it sucks.
So far, so good. We've got the hard bit coming up. That is all pretty much downhill. It's all right, like downhill. The next bit's uphill.
Keep your feet moving, men. Stay walking on the spot. Last thing we'll do is seize up now.
Compared to his living conditions with the Marines, Chris's London home makes for a striking contrast.
So this is Terrill Towers. The fact is, I don't spend a lot of time here because I'm always on the move, I'm always travelling. It's a great place to come back to. It's a great place to know I've got. This isn't my home. Right now, Limpston, Commando Base, is where I live, where I exist. And my family, if you like, my second family anyway, is the Royal Marines.
His home has a lot of character, which I like, but something tells me that he is a bachelor. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, as a married woman, that's just my perspective.
Chris's real family also has a military background.
And over here, I have what I call my Navy corner. This is, both my parents were in the Navy. My father was a fleet air pilot during the war. My mother was a Wren. And so I've been brought up with the Navy.
I feel like I've heard that term before, a Wren, but I just don't remember who they were, though.
Part of my way of thinking, really. I was a Sea Scout, I was a Sea Cadet, and then around about the age of 17, 18, I was considering going to Dartmouth to train as a naval officer. I just decided it wasn't for me at the time, but it was one of those forks in life. But I've always yearned for the Navy ever since.
I don't know whether it's something, the Green Beret, that he wished he'd done when he was my age, or maybe it is, maybe he's having a midlife crisis, but regardless of that, I think the Green Beret, getting it and doing all the fizz with the nods, and I think it means a lot to him, yeah. So I hope he does it.
Well, break off, watch your footing!
Chris's troop are at the halfway point on the 9-mile speed march, and the ground's about to get much harder. 2 of the younger men have already had to drop out.
Oh yeah, that train's pretty tough.
What you do want to do is extend yourself as far as your body will take you. Sometimes, and it's an old cliche, no pain, no gain. Pain is necessary sometimes to get stronger, to get faster. It will come. It will come means the pain will go away. And the way I look at it is this. Pain is temporary. Green Beret is forever.
I like his mindset. It makes sense.
in the real military world, this is all about getting to an action. So it's not just a matter about getting from A to B. When you got to B, you're going to have to fight. You have to fight the enemy. So you've got to remember that's what this is all about.
Hello, 0. This is 1-1 Charlie. Again, your last message. Over. 1-1 Charlie. Okay.
Over the last 8 months, Chris has also had a taste of combat. He took part in a massive military exercise with the Marines in Virginia.
So-called enemy is actually our allies, Americans. But it's not difficult to transpose this to Iraq or Afghanistan, the enemy, Al-Qaeda or Taliban.
Get your fucking hands up!
Wait, webbing off.
In modern history, the U.S. Marines have never surrendered. Every surrender that they were part of, they were under naval or army command, such as at Guam and Wake Island. However, the Royal Marines can take credit for actually having the U.S. Marines surrender during a training exercise a few years ago in the Mojave Desert.
With less than 3 minutes left on the clock, Chris's troop completes the second commando test.
No surprise he passed it.
Okay, troop, fucking hoofing effort on what you've done there, yeah? I'm proud of the lot of you, you've done well. 9-mile speed march is no easy feat. Good effort, troop. Kit on, let's go.
They square each other away.
In the little spare time he has away from the Marines, Chris keeps up his physical training at a London boxing club.
Like boiling a can of water, you need to keep it on the boil. And occasionally, have some hard days, some light days. But Marines don't train for light days. You can't, in the heat of war, you can't have a day off.
We've seen this very, very, very fit 54-year-old turn into this absolute bionic 55-year-old. I mean, it's just the most extraordinary phenomenon.
By my second family here. The guys here are amazing. I mean, they spend most of the time trying to beat me up every Saturday. I do my best to return the compliments, but the camaraderie here, it's like what I find in the Marines.
When he has to do these things with the young bucks, climbing up ropes for 50 foot, whatever he does, they may not have been there before. They're only kids. Mentally, he's got everything they haven't got. He knows how to hang on in it when it hurts. And he does it, and it's not a problem for Chris. It's not a problem at all.
3, 2, 1, go! Push your knees up, spread!
A week before he began the final commando tests, Chris had his only practice run at the most formidable and physically demanding of them all, the Tarzan assault course.
The Tarzan assault course is the high ropes obstacle course. Now obviously you're sort of 30 odd foot above the ground with no safety nets beneath you. Now if you fell off, you'd fall to the ground and you'd possibly kill yourself or severely injure yourself.
There's no net?
It's a totally different type of fitness that he'll have ever done before, so it's a big shock to his body. And I don't think it's ready yet.
Chris was about to suffer his biggest setback yet.
His hand.
The jump and landing looked fine. In fact, this was the moment he dislocated a finger. The loss of grip strength would make the remaining obstacles even more punishing.
That's it, come on! And again, that's it, keep the feet, that's it, come on, keep it going!
Gotta use your core.
Let's get over! Come on, Chris, come on, let's stand about, come on. Come on, that's it. Come on, let's go again, quick! Grip the bar!
Oh, and now it's gonna be even worse because his hands are cold and wet.
To pass the commando test, Chris must cross all of the monkey bars. There's also a tough overall time limit of 13 minutes.
Oh. And his hand is injured too, his finger.
That's it, that's better. Good.
That's gone.
Okay, right then. Carry on.
That's just so horrible. And that's 3 minutes over time. This is the killer one. It's completely exhausting. And you've just got nothing left, and I had nothing in my hands. I couldn't feel them, so cold. And they're wet and slippery. Truly horrible. Truly horrible.
Broken him on a few occasions. But at the end of the day, you know, I mean, it's not girl guide training, is it? It wants to be a Royal Marine Commando.
For the first time, Chris is having to face up to the possibility of failure.
I think we can all agree that Chris is a beast. I am so impressed with him. I think that he can pass this assault course as long as he can actually get through the monkey bars on his first go. If he drops down into the cold water, that will be a time and confidence killer. Once part 2 is filmed, I'll put it right here. Thanks for watching.